Deep within the sun-scorched sands of Egypt, beneath layers of time and history, lie the tombs of the great pharaohs. These chambers, sealed for millennia, were intended as eternal resting places, filled with treasures for the afterlife. But amongst these riches they have found something far more remarkable. A simple substance, golden and viscous, stored in clay pots. It is honey, placed there over 3,000 years ago, and it remains impossibly, perfectly edible. The secret lies in its unique chemical composition, a formidable defense against the forces of decay. Honey is, first and foremost, a supersaturated solution of sugars containing very little water, but the bees, nature's master chemists, have endowed their creation with further protections. As they transform nectar into honey, they add an enzyme called glucose oxidase. Consider the banana. We see it as a simple, familiar fruit, its classification seemingly straightforward. Yet in the precise language of botany, the banana is, in fact, a berry. Now let us turn our attention to the strawberry, the quintessential summer berry in the popular imagination. Yet botanically, it is nothing of the sort. The strawberry is what is known as an aggregate accessory fruit. Deep within the ocean's twilight zones, a creature of remarkable intelligence and bewildering anatomy navigates its complex world. This is the octopus, a master of camouflage and a puzzle of evolutionary design. But the true marvel lies not in its 8 sucker-adorned arms nor in its sophisticated brain, but within its very core. Here, a circulatory system unlike almost any other on our planet performs a daily, life-sustaining ballet. In the heart of Paris stands a monument known the world over, an icon of engineering and a symbol of France itself, the Eiffel Tower. But this perception of a rigid and unchanging structure is an illusion. In reality, this colossal tower is alive. It breathes. This phenomenon is known as thermal expansion, a basic principle of physics that governs materials all around us. When substances are heated, their atoms and molecules gain kinetic energy, causing them to vibrate more vigorously and move farther apart. Stand on any beach, on any continent, and allow the fine grains of sand to run through your fingers. Each one, a tiny fragment of rock, eroded by millennia of wind and water. But now, turn your gaze upward, away from the ground beneath your feet, and into the profound dark canvas of the night sky. When astronomers attempt to calculate the total number of stars, the figures they produce dwarf even the sands of our world into insignificance. Here, in the eucalyptus forests and scrublands of Australia, lives a creature whose daily routine produces a true geometric anomaly. It is the wombat, a sturdy, burrowing marsupial, and it leaves behind a calling card that, honestly, defies our expectations of biology. A perfectly cube-shaped dropping. This is not a quirk of chance, but a marvel of anatomical engineering. The true artistry occurs in the final stages, within the last meter of the wombat's intestine. We travel back to the year 1896, to the shores of the Indian Ocean and the Sultanate of Zanzibar. It was here, on the morning of August the 27th, that the world would bear witness to the shortest war ever recorded. The entire engagement, from the first shot fired at 2 minutes past 9 to the lowering of the palace flag at 40 minutes past, lasted a mere 38 minutes. Our solar system is a gallery of planetary wonders, each celestial body a unique world with its own distinct character. But perhaps the most alien and inhospitable of our neighbors is the second planet from the Sun, Venus. Here, a single day is longer than an entire year. This extraordinary temporal paradox is born from the planet's rotation. Venus performs this movement with an almost imperceptible slowness, taking a staggering 243 Earth days to complete just one turn on its axis. A story of a man and his flying disc. Walter Morrison, the inventor, was a man fascinated by the simple, elegant physics of flight. His creation, which would eventually be known across the globe as the Frisbee, was born from this fascination. Following his wishes, a portion of his ashes were carefully mixed into the very plastic used to create a new batch of his iconic discs. The man who gave the world the joy of the Frisbee is now, quite literally, part of the Frisbee itself. The vast, silent world of the deep ocean is a realm of giants. Here, life exists on a scale that almost defies comprehension, and at the apex of this colossal kingdom reigns the largest animal that has ever lived, the blue whale. This magnificent organ, the heart of the blue whale, is a testament to the extremes of evolution. It is a muscular pump that weighs more than 400 kilograms, a size comparable to that of a small family car. Among the turtles and tortoises, we find armor, longevity, and a patient, steady approach to life. But hidden within the anatomy of some freshwater species is a capability so unexpected, it seems almost fantastical. A method of breathing that does not involve the lungs, the mouth, or the nostrils. This remarkable adaptation is known as cloacal respiration. It is, in the most literal sense, the ability to breathe through their rear end. Here, in the rugged highlands and misty glens of Scotland, a land steeped in ancient lore and fierce independence, we find a most unexpected national symbol. Instead, the Scots have chosen a creature of pure myth, a symbol of innocence, purity, and power. It is the unicorn. By adopting this mythical beast, Scotland aligned itself not just with strength, but with these virtuous ideals. It was a declaration to the world that this nation stood for something more profound. Nature is a realm of seemingly immutable laws, rules of physics that govern the behavior of everything. Yet, here in the intricate dance of molecules, we encounter a baffling paradox. It is a phenomenon where, under certain specific conditions, hot water can inexplicably freeze faster than cold water. This strange and counterintuitive occurrence is known as the Mpemba effect, a puzzle that has perplexed scientists for centuries. From the vantage point of space, our planet reveals its grandest creations. But off the northeastern coast of Australia, there is a structure unlike any other. This is the Great Barrier Reef, the world's largest living structure, so vast and so magnificent that it is the only living thing on Earth visible to the naked eye from the moon. This intricate, three-dimensional world provides food and shelter for an astonishing array of marine life. It is home to more than 1,500 species of fish, their vibrant colors flashing through the coral gardens like living jewels. Here, in the lush, humid climes of the tropics, hangs a fruit familiar to almost every human on the planet, the banana. Yet, concealed within its very essence, within the spiraling strands of its DNA, lies a most unexpected connection to ourselves. This shared genetic heritage paints a picture of life not as a series of disparate, isolated creations, but as a single sprawling family tree. We are all branches, twigs, and leaves stemming from the same ancient trunk. Across the huge, rolling green hills of New Zealand's North Island, a place of old stories and myths for the Maori people, there's a hill that's not super tall, but means a lot to their culture. It's a place with a name so long, so full of history, it feels like the land itself made it up. The name is a really long 85-letter phrase in the Maori language. Taumata waka tangi hanga kawawata matiet urapuka kapike maonga horanukupokai wenu akita natahu. It's more than just a label. It's like a whole epic story in short. Frederick Bauer, an organic chemist and food storage technician, belongs firmly in the category of creating objects of simple, satisfying pleasure. In 1966, while working for Procter & Gamble, he was tasked with a challenge to design a new way to package potato crisps. Upon his passing in 2008 at the age of 89, his children honored his request. A portion of his ashes were carefully placed inside the iconic tube, ensuring that his life's work would contain him for all eternity. The familiar, almost nostalgic scent of freshly cut grass, a fragrance that for many signals the arrival of summer. But what if this scent, so deeply ingrained in our memories of idyllic afternoons, carries a far more urgent and desperate message? For the grass itself, this aroma is not one of contentment. It is, in fact, a silent chemical scream, a desperate cry for help released in a moment of profound trauma and injury. In our modern world, we are ceaselessly bombarded by sound. Yet, in a laboratory in Minneapolis, a space has been engineered to achieve a level of quiet so profound, it borders on the surreal. This is the anechoic chamber at Orfield Laboratories. Deprived of all external auditory input, the human body itself becomes the source of a new and often disturbing soundscape. After only a few moments in the profound quiet, one can begin to hear the gentle whoosh and thump of their own circulatory system. In the grand theater of life on Earth, every creature is bound by the fundamental cycle of birth, growth, reproduction, and eventual death. But in the warm, temperate waters of our world's oceans, there exists a creature that appears to have found a loophole in this universal contract. This is Turritopsis dohrnii, a species of jellyfish that can quite literally turn back its own biological clock. When faced with the stresses of old age, physical damage, or starvation, this remarkable jellyfish initiates an astonishing process of transformation. The year was 1964. a time when computers were colossal machines, filling entire rooms and speaking a language only a select few could understand. It was in this environment that a visionary engineer, Douglas Engelbart, at the Stanford Research Institute, sought to create a more intuitive bridge between human and machine. The prototype they constructed was a small, unassuming block of carved wood, housing two perpendicular metal wheels that tracked movement on a surface. This wooden ancestor, born of simple materials and profound foresight, was a pivotal moment in the history of computing. The vast, windswept archipelago of Orkney, off the northern coast of Scotland, is a land forged by the sea and the sky. In this landscape of epic timescales, one of the world's most remarkable journeys unfolds daily. The journey connects the islands of Westray and Papa Westray, a stretch of water that could be rowed in a small boat on a calm day. From the moment the wheels leave the ground on Westray to the moment they touch down on Papa Westray, the official flight time is just 57 seconds. On a day with a favorable tailwind, this incredible journey has been completed in as little as 47 seconds. Our planet is a world of incredible diversity, a tapestry of environments from scorching deserts to steaming jungles. But there exists a place of such extreme cold that it seems to belong to another world entirely. This is the high plateau of East Antarctica. It was here, on the 21st of July, 1983, during the depths of the Antarctic winter, that the mercury in the thermometers plunged to its lowest point ever reliably measured on the surface of the Earth. The temperature fell to an astonishing minus 89.2 degrees Celsius. When we conjure an image of a desert, our minds invariably drift to sun-scorched dunes, a shimmering horizon of heat and the relentless glare of a golden sun. But the very definition of a desert, in the eyes of science, is not tied to temperature but to precipitation. Here, on the southernmost continent of our planet, lies a realm of ice and wind. This is Antarctica, and by the strict definition of what constitutes a desert, this polar wilderness is, in fact, the largest on our world. The flamingo, a vision of elegance, a splash of vibrant pink against a turquoise lagoon. Yet there is another flamingo that populates our world, one born not of evolution, but of human ingenuity and a peculiar sense of style. The success of this plastic replica has been so immense, its production so widespread, that its population has far outstripped that of its living counterpart. The world is now home to more fake flamingos than real ones, a fact that is as amusing as it is profoundly thought-provoking. Our journey through the curious, the astonishing, and the utterly unexpected corners of our world has reached its end. From the silent depths of the ocean where whales' hearts beat like colossal drums, to the frozen desert at the very pole of our planet, we have seen how reality can often be far stranger and more wonderful than fiction. The world is a library of wonders, and we have merely browsed a few of its most captivating pages. Thank you for joining us on this cinematic exploration. The pursuit of knowledge is a journey without a destination, and it is a journey best shared. Until next time, keep questioning and keep exploring.